Hi there, it's Simon Keeling here, weatherweb.net. It is Monday the 4th of February. Thanks again for watching weatherweb.net. Don't forget we kept free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen here. It's by you coming back and using the site, using the adverts. That's what keeps us free of charge. Now I've been going to the gym a little bit lately, as you know, and I've lost a little bit of weight, I'm pleased to say. But this is what stops me losing weight. Just look at this. That has just been presented to me. A homemade chocolate brownie, and it just smells fantastic. So this is the reason for me not being successful at the gym during the next week, but it is absolutely gorgeous stuff. You've just got to eat it, haven't you? Just got to eat it. Right, now don't forget the site to get free of charge by the adverts that you see around the screen here. It's by you coming back and using the site and using the adverts. That's what keeps us free of charge, and by you telling your friends as well about the site. Now, those of you who follow me on Twitter at Weather School will already have seen this chart. This is one that I sent a link out to earlier. I wasn't going to release these charts yet. These are the Swell charts, so basically the wave height charts. They're particularly useful, of course, to sailors, but I just wanted to show you this. This is the charts. Just watch what happens. This is meters, okay? These are waves height in meters. Just look what happens here as I run that sequence through. Look at those waves height. That is there a 16-meter swell, okay? So that's a 50-foot wave here to the northwest of Scotland. Can you imagine being out in those conditions? And you notice how during the course of tonight and into tomorrow, those really rough seas spread down the western coast of Scotland, down the west of Ireland, into the southwest of England, and eventually going down there into the Bay of Biscay. So some really rough seas out there. Now, got a bit of a problem, particularly in the latter stage of this forecast, and it's all to do with the cold weather, because it's deciding on what actually happens next week. I'm okay with the forecast up till Sunday. It's what goes on after that. At the moment, this is the chart from 6 o'clock this morning. Look, low pressure up towards the north there. We've got this straight flow here. This is what we call a straight fetch here across the North Atlantic. It's that is causing those sorts of sea swells, because basically you've got no curvature in the isobars, so the wind just blows. It's just like getting a great big block of wood in water and just going like that and pushing it forward. You know, you get that bulge of water running ahead, and that's exactly what those winds are like, and that's what that is doing there on that chart. So difficulty, as I say, is deciding what goes on later, but we just run through those. Look, you notice how the jet stream buckles away down towards the south. We've been watching that, haven't we, as low pressure goes into the North Sea, brings a northerly flow through, and then the GFS ensemble wants to try and kind of bring the jet stream back into us, flirting with us for a while before it collapses away down towards the south again into next weekend, and really keeping it down towards the south through the course of next weekend into the early part of the following week. And what the GFS is trying to do is to keep things fairly cool. And a look at the temperature chart kind of reveals this. Look, this is the temperature trace going ahead till the 20th of February. And you notice here's the semi-milder stuff that we've got today. But look, the temperature drops out, and then we kind of hang around these sort of 5-6 degrees levels across London during the period. Cardiff is pretty well similar. Birmingham pretty similar too, Manchester pretty similar, Glasgow is cooler but fairly steady in its temperatures as well. Similar story for Aberdeen. So you see what it's trying to do. It's trying to make things cool, and I go with that. I think the ensemble probably has got it about right. If we just take a look at not that one, but we want to look at that one, the ECMWF temperatures, you'll see that the ECMWF tries to bring temperatures down even more, brings them up a little bit, look here, into the early part of next week, but brings off temperatures much more steeply than the others, and really plays around with what happens at this point. So I think what we're going to do is go with the idea of it being cool during the coming days, possibly cold at times, but then temperatures kind of flattening off. And I think this is a feature that we'll see. Remember when we talk about the transition period up till about, well, from the 15th of February onwards, and the cool weather would last up till then. I still go with this idea, going up to the 14th of the 15th of February, staying cool, then this transition 15th to about the 20th, and then we see milder, windier and wetter conditions getting in towards the end of the month. as far as precipitation is concerned, this is precipitation for the next week. Model derived, admittedly, so this is just purely from the model, but it gives us an idea as to where the wettest locations are likely to be. And you can see again, it's kind of these western coastal areas that see most of any precipitation. Relatively little here inland, with sort of 10 to 12 millimetres of rain. Go to weatherweb.net, go to charts, and you can see these charts on those pages as well. Now then, in terms of how pressure develops across us, so this is the chart for Monday afternoon. Low pressure up there towards the north, and you'll notice how that area of low pressure kind of slips its way eastwards during the course of tonight and then slips southwards. Now then, that's important because what that low pressure is going to do is to bring in colder northerly winds during the course of tonight through tomorrow as well, bringing some really cold winds in and some wintry showers down the eastern coast. Then a ridge will be building through during the day on Thursday, and then we find rain just slipping in from the Atlantic, but it's this high that's out towards the west that is the key feature, because that's the thing that just keeps this cool flow, this cool pattern persisting over the coming days. Now I just wanted to show you this because it's important as far as tonight goes, because there is the risk of us catching some snow during the course of tonight. This is the high resolution model from the UK Met Office. The time of the model is valid for it's shown here, so this was 9 o'clock this morning. It's forecast radar. Just watch what happens. Look, see these lines of showers moving their way south through the country. These are sleet and snow showers that'll clear their way southward during the early hours of the morning. Lots of ice following on behind, and some more heavy showers out towards the west. And here is that low. You can see it kind of just all curled around in there, coming south during tomorrow, bringing rain with it during tomorrow. But interestingly, notice I said rain because ahead of that system are the snow showers, but as the system comes in, we get a little tongue of warmer air coming through, and that warmer air turns the snow into rain. So I think what we could find tonight is a band of snow showers moving its way southwards through all parts of the country, and just about anywhere could wake up to a covering of snow in the morning. Then that clears away down to the south, and then we find our low moving in from the north. Warmer air pushes south with it. Any snow will go, and then we'll probably find quite a cloudy, damp day tomorrow for many of us. And then behind that is when we see these northerly winds. Let's just get back to them. These northerly winds kicking in, very strong northerly winds, bringing some really, well, it's going to just make it feel very, very cold by Wednesday. And as I said, really the question is over what happens towards the weekend. How do things develop? You see, let's just compare these two charts. I mean, let's go back to where are we? Let's just go back a couple of days. So if we go to the 12th, so this is going to be when? This would be Tuesday the 12th. Let's just compare these. Look, low pressure down towards the south on the ECMWF, bringing in a northeasterly wind. But compare that to the Canadian model, and you'll see the difference between the two here. If we just take a look at the 12th on that, look, it's got a westerly flow in, a windy westerly flow and a cool westerly flow, very similar to the one that we've got at the moment, but westerly nonetheless. So we do have these conflicting options, and you know what? The one that I tend to go with is this idea. Looks about right to me, that we could find perhaps a spell of wintry weather coming through at the weekend as that low zips through there. Then what we could find into the early part of next week is, yes, it goes cold for a while, but then we pick up this cool kind of westerly flow coming in back off the Atlantic and bringing us cooler conditions. So I guess what we've got to say is that the weekend, the weather at the moment is very iffy, a little bit, well, at times the weather does go into an unforecastable mode, and it's almost there at the moment. So we need to get another 24 hours under our belt. Let's have a look, see what's going on the charts, and let's see how this situation is going to develop. But certainly I think for the coming days, we've got to think of cold, and we've got to think of the risk of some snow coming through tonight. Right, the only thing that's going to make me feel better about not being able to make a decision on the forecast for early next week is going to be my brownie. So it's time for a coffee, and it's time to say goodbye, and it's time to say thanks for watching. Remember, the sites get free of charge by the adverts you see around the screen, and by you coming back and visiting the site, that's what keeps us free of charge. You use the adverts, it generates revenue for us, and that means we can give all these charts to you. So once again, thanks for watching, and keep the sun shining. Bye for now.